When the lights are bright on Champions League nights, only the stars will shine. But the question is, which stars will shine tomorrow in the two upcoming quarterfinals, April 7, 2026, between Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich and Sporting CP versus Arsenal. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Unfortunately, both games will be played at the same time. And this is my disappointment with UEFA. Talking about the Champions League, you guys got to do better. You know when you talk about the Champions League, this is the highest level of club football. Give us the opportunity to enjoy every entertainment there is possible. So we want to see these games on different times. But anyways, let me start with a preview between Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, and then I'll finish with Arsenal, Sporting CP versus Arsenal, I should say, because Arsenal will actually be going to Lisbon to take on Sporting CP. Now, having said that, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. This is the oldest rivalry in the Champions League, and nobody needs a reminder. All right, but I'm going to give you guys a quick history reminder for the reason of only to show that Real Madrid, you can see that we have been dominating Bayern Munich. 28 minutes already. We have won 13 compared to Bayern Munich's 11. There has been 4 draws. We have scored 45 goals compared to Bayern Munich's 42. And then in the last 9 minutes, we have won 7 of those and drew 2 only. We have eliminated them 4 times consecutively, and each of those times we have gone on to win the Champions League. Do whatever it is you want to do with that information. Now, let me get to this. And I want to focus on tactics because that is going to be the key. And I'm going to start with the host, Real Madrid, all right? This is not preference because we will be at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu. We all know when you talk about Real Madrid, you will never take away the individual brilliance. So that is part of what we do. We don't have a set formation, not possession-based, not counter-attacking system, not gen pressing. It is hybrid. That is what we do. It is mid-block or low block on purpose, invite pressure, and then when you leave those spaces behind you, we will take advantage of counter-attacking opportunities and those quick transitions. That is what we do because we have the pace, we have the skill of Kylian Mbappe and Vini Jr., obviously, and we have players that can do that box-to-box run. We have players that can crash the box. I'm talking about Jude Bellingham and Federico Valverde. You all know what time it is. That is what we do. And from a team's perspective, going over to Bayern Munich, we know there has been a combination. If you've been watching Bayern Munich, there has been a combination of formation. There has been a combination of tactics, okay? You're talking about position. You're talking about intensity. You're talking about, the ginger pressing, right? High up pressing. And you're talking about a high line as well. Not like Hansi Flick, but a little bit of the Hansi Flick style. So it is also a combination of different tactics when you talk about the Bayern Munich team. So that is how they're going to play. We're not going to have any problems with that. We're going to invite them. Real Madrid will invite them. Now, when we dealt with Manchester City, it wasn't by mistake. That was by design. So I'm just going to say this and get out of the way. Do not be surprised when we handle Bayern Munich because everybody is expecting Bayern Munich to get it easy. But that is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I'm going to now focus on how several players can influence the outcome of this game. Now, when I was talking about transition opportunities for Real Madrid, I talked about Vini Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. We all know. This is no brainer. We know what these guys can do when you release them. So let me talk about who can potentially release these guys. And that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is going to be our starting right back, hopefully. I hope that is the case because if we're going to sit in that mid block and invite pressure, when we have possession of the ball, we need the passing ability of Trent to get the ball out to Vini Jr. or Kylian Mbappe because those are going to be our outlets. We know Ada Goulet can do that here and there as well, but Trent is going to be someone that we're going to rely on. On the side of Bayern Munich, let me pick out Harry Kane really quick because the way Harry Kane plays, he has that gravitational pull, right? He is not a typical center forward who's just looking forward to get tap-ins and things like that. He is also like a playmaker. And that is how dangerous he can get. He's going to drive a little bit deeper. He's going to drop a little bit deeper, I should say, in that midfield area. So now, if Rudiger or Denhausen are dragged out of position, if they follow him out of position, That is where it's gonna be really, really bad because now Ulisse and Luis Diaz can get into the action and affect those spaces that are left behind by our center back. So that is what Harry Kane can do to you. Like looking back at Karim Benzema when he was really balling in that Champions League that we won alongside Vinny Jr. and we came up with his nickname Benzema. So like that is the kind of play we're seeing for Harry Kane. So we really have to focus on Harry. Now, when you go to the midfield, I'm gonna go back to Chouameni because Chouameni has been the anchor for Real Madrid. All right. Now he's been really focused defensively, but also he's been able to affect offense, but really not compromising his defensive qualities. And that has been something that has been missing in his game. So you're going to contrast that with Joshua Kimmich because for Joshua Kimmich, he's going to play more like a controller. He's going to sit right in front of Jonathan Tah and Upamecano, all right, in front of the Bayern Munich center backs. So his role there is to make sure he gets the ball because he's a press-resistant player and trying to initiate that possession game. So that is how it's gonna be for us. It is the pivot of all right. Chouameni is gonna stay a little deeper. Adagule obviously is gonna rotate, right? But the goal here is this: Federico Valverde is gonna hit in those runs. He is gonna make those runs. So when Vinny Jr. or Kylian Mbappe put out the fullbacks of Bayern Munich and they love to go forward, right? Whether it is Stanisic, whether it is Konrad Lehmer, it doesn't matter. If Alfonso Davis is fit enough to start, we don't care. We don't care. Because when Vinny Jr. is coming back, they have to follow him a little bit, right? And when you do, there's going to be that space. There's going to be that space. So now, when we play to Vinny Jr., and then you come forward, and we play to Kylian Mbappe, you come forward, then those guys are going to make the pass for our midfield runners. That is, if it is Jude Bellingham, it is Federico Valverde, just like we did against Manchester City. I'm going to expect a similar approach. So this is going to be a really tactical battle between these two teams. And it is going to be a fascinating game. Now, for whatever reason, do not miss these games. All right, there are games you can miss and whatever the case might be, but you have to make sure you watch this real time. You have to watch it live. It is going to be interesting. But we know how it is in the atmosphere of the Champions League when you're playing home. So for Real Madrid, at the Santiago Bernabeu, the crowd is going to be part of the team. It's going to be part of the team. It's going to be part of the team, and that is going to be a problem for Bayern Munich. At this level, we all know when you talk about the Champions League, at this stage, you're talking about a Real Madrid team that is highly committed, a Real Madrid team that is motivated to do nothing but to win. And the fans know that. So we are going to be loud. We're going to close the roof so we can increase the sound volume, and that is really going to affect Bayern Munich. We don't care how experienced you are, but at the Santiago Bernabeu, yes, you can be nervous. So, let me know what you think in the comment section. I will be here to give my post-match analysis and reaction, obviously. But I hope it goes well for us, Real Madrid. But until then, catch you later. Stay blessed and peace out.